My pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you for today's session of Mundaka Upanishad. We are in chapter 2. This is called second Mundaka, section 2. We'll chant the next sloka. Sloka number 3. Dhanurgrahitau Upanishadam Mahastram Sharam Hi Upasanat Nishitam Sandadita Ayamya Tadbhava Gatena Chetasa Lakshyam Tadeva Aksharam Saumya Viddhi. So the next sloka of Upanishad is telling, make Omkara as the bow. Omkara, Om itself has to be made into bow. So the picture I am showing you, you can see the picture. Om is the bow. Omkara is the bow. Okay. The mind should be the arrow. And we should target Brahman, God. So this is the shloka. Om is the Om mantra, Om is the bow. The mind is the arrow. And target is God, Brahman. So let us understand the meaning of this shloka. The Upanishad Rishi, Shaunaka Rishi, asked a question to Angirasa, by knowing which everything is known. Please tell me. So what is the importance of by knowing which everything is known? By knowing the self as Brahman, Atman as Brahman, I know everything is Brahman. So I am all that is there. So that duality goes. There's no duality. Advaita. In that Advaita non-duality, I am full. I feel completeness. Purnatva. I am free from limitation of Desha, Kala and Karma. Time, space and Karma. And Gnana Bandha goes. So I am fulfilled. Purnatva I achieve. So that's why the question is asked. By knowing which, everything is known. So Angirasa Rishi gives everything. He tells about Karma Kanda, what is the purpose of rituals, right? So Vedas have 3 sections: Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda means various pujas, rituals you do. Okay? So when you do pujas, the Vedas tell 2 ways of doing puja: Kamya Karma and Nishkama Karma, right? So when you do puja, you do a sankalpa in the beginning. I am doing puja. What is the purpose of doing puja? Dhana, Dhanya, Putra, Pautra. Okay. I need money, children and grandchildren. Okay. And great-great-grandchildren. Right. And success in life, health and wealth. All these are called Kamya Karma. Okay. So when you do puja or ritual with the Kamya Karma, benefit will come. That benefit is called Adrashtaphala. So when the same Karma Kanda you do as Nishkama Karma, as an offering to Ishvara, I am doing all these things. I am doing this puja as offering to Ishvara. So why do I have to offer to Ishvara? To purify my mind. Then it becomes Karma Yoga. Right? So Nishkama Karma and Kamya Karma, both are explained in Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda is the largest section. Then the benefit of Karma Kanda was explained in the Mundaka Upanishad, chapter 1, section 2. So that Jnana is told. What is Jnana? Who is Brahman? Is explained. Who is Brahman? Nirakara, Nirguna, formless, adrashya, cannot be seen, agrahya. So then Angirisa Rishi gives some examples how you can understand Brahman. Through teaching, Jnana, he tries to give, make you point to Brahman. You cannot, nobody can, Brahman cannot be seen. You have to recognize Brahman. The only way to recognize Brahman is myself. My innermost self is Brahman. My Atma is Brahman. That's the only way to recognize Brahman. Brahman cannot be recognized as object. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman is the only way you can recognize Brahman. Okay. So now, Angirisa Rishi has told Shaunaka Rishi, then he feels that it may be difficult for some people to realize the truth. So in addition to Karma Kanda, they need Upasana, meditation. Okay. So now he is telling about Upasana or meditation. Okay. Upasana is told, he tells Upasana. Karma Kanda is do rituals, puja. Its Karma Kanda is focused on external. Upasana is focused on meditation. Okay. So for people who are not qualified to receive Jnana, Upasana is prescribed. Because Karma Kanda, after that, some people can go to Jnana or Upasana. Now, if you have not understood Jnana, you have to go to Upasana. The highest Upasana is called Omkara Upasana. Highest form of worship is called Omkara Upasana. Why it is so, I will tell you. Okay. Right? So you understand the sequence, right? Karma Kanda, Kamya Karma, Nishkama Karma or Karma Yoga purifies you. Seva purifies you. Then, if you are purified enough, you can get Jnana. If you understood Jnana, it's over. Or you have to go through Upasana, meditation. For most of the people, we need to go to both Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, then you have to go to Jnana. So it is like saying, Jnana is like surgery. Okay? Jnana is like surgery. Surgery you don't keep doing every day. So Jnana, once you receive Jnana, you are realized. But to receive Jnana, to do the surgery, you need a preparatory work. That is called Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. So doctor tells the patient, before coming to surgery, for 15 days, you have to take this tablet. And 20 days, you should not take this type of food. The preparation is required. For Jnana Kanda, preparation is Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. So we think people have a wrong notion that by meditation, I realize the truth. Meditation prepares you Jnana, for Jnana. Jnana liberates you. You understand? The meditation is required. The meditation is called Upasana in Vedanta. So meditation is like a preparing ground for Jnana. So if you want to put a seed, you want to grow a plant, you want to put a seed, first you have to prepare the ground. Okay? You have to till the ground. You have to dig. You have to put fertilizer. You have to put water. Then you put the seed. Then the seed will grow. Just like that, if you put a seed in a ground which is not prepared, that seed will die. Jnana is the seed. Okay? Digging the ground, putting fertilizer, putting water is karma kanda, karma yoga, and upasana. Meditation prepares you for jnana. Please understand this. Okay? So now, jnana means shravana. Listening gives mukti. Shravana matrena jnana. Listening alone liberates. Enlightenment is because of the listening. But for listening, your whole body mind has to be prepared properly. That is called karma kanda and upasana kanda. Seva, service and meditation. Okay. Now this meditation is described as meditation Omkara here. We'll get into that detail. Right? Do you understand? Then we say Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Nididhyasa is not meditation. Nididhyasa is not upasana. Okay, Nididhyasa is not meditation. Upasana and Nididhyasa are very different. Meditation involves a symbol or a form. Nididhyasa involves formless self. Nididhyasa is related to Atma. Nididhyasa is getting established in the truth. So people don't understand the difference between Upasana and Nididhyasa. Nididhyasa is abiding in the self. It is not meditation in the traditional, in the worldly language. There's no, actually, there's no word for nididhyasa in any of the languages. Nididhyasa is abiding in the self. Nididhyasa is being in the self. It is not meditation. Okay. Meditation is one step before jnana. Karma kanda, upasana or meditation, then jnana. Jnana is shravana, manana, nididhyasa. Are you clear? So nididhyasa is related to self. Self is not an object. Self is awareness. Self cannot be objectified. That's why nididhyasa is not dhyana. Nididhyasa is called abiding in the self. Dhyana or meditation requires an object. Without object, you cannot do dhyana. Right? You need an object. So the object can be a form of God. Sri Krishna, beautiful form of Sri Krishna, beautiful form of Rama, a wonderful form of Devi. So some form. These are all called man-made form, Manushya Krita. Rama and Krishna, somebody sculptor has to make, no. Then there can be natural forms. A mountain, Kailasa Parvata, is a natural form. Or fire, which is natural. Fire also you can meditate. But you need a symbol. You need a form. Right? This form is called Vigraha or Pratika. There are two things, Vigraha or Pratika. Pratika means symbol. Vigraha means a form. Vigraha comes from Grahana, means grasping. Okay. Vigraha means something helps you to grasp very quickly, which captures your imagination. Vishishta Grahana. Say somebody gives a lecture. Okay. Instead of giving a lecture, he shows one picture. Immediately grasp it. Because illustration, it helps you to grasp truth easily. Vishishta Grahana. That's called Vigraha. Okay. Pratika means symbol. Symbol is pointer. So Pratika or Vigraha is required for dhyana. For nididhyasa, Pratika or Vigraha is not required because it's formless meditation. Is the distinction clear? Dhyana and nididhyasa are very different. Okay. So people think we are the Hindus, we do worship the idol. Because we take a Vigraha of Rama and do puja. Vigraha of Krishna and you do puja. We are not idol worshippers. We don't do Vigraha puja. We do puja through Vigraha. Vigraha is a means. Vigraha is not the end. So to understand the dhyana, I'll give you an example. The flag of India is the national flag. There are three colors. Green, saffron, white and green, and Ashoka Chakra. So it's after all a piece of cloth. It's available for 100 rupees. Now take that piece of cloth, stand in middle of the road and cut that piece. What will happen? People will pounce on you. People will hit you. Okay? People, because that piece of cloth, it's an ordinary piece of cloth, but by painting three colors, what you have done? You have given the cloth as a status of the country. Is the country there in the cloth? The map of India is not there. The cloth represents the India. Right? Cloth is respected by all people of India. It's sacred. It is representing 130 crores of Indians. It is representing the culture of India. Just piece of cloth. So what you are doing, you are superimposing India on the cloth. Superimposing. There is no India in that cloth. But you are superimposing on India. Why? Because you are respecting India. The cloth is the means. You are not respecting the cloth. You are not respecting a piece of cloth. You are worshipping India through cloth. Understand? So this is the concept of Vigraha Puja. We are worshipping the infinite through that finite idol. We are not doing idol worship. We are worshipping the ideal. Ideal means the God, Brahman. Ideal through idol. Understand? The people of other culture, they don't understand this. Idol is worship from ideal. So what you do? You take a Vigraha of Rama. A small Vigraha. Then you put qualities of Rama on the Vigraha. Rama is Dharma. Rama is purity. Rama is perfection. Why it's done? Why you need a Vigraha? Because our mind can focus on a small area, very like a pinpoint laser. The mind can be focused on the, can have a laser focus on a object, of small object. Our mind starts getting, our mind starts becoming cluttered when you have to focus on an abstract area. So you tell somebody, focus on the country. Then what is a country? Oh, Kashmir is country. Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Assam to Meghalaya. Oh, there are so many languages. What should I focus on? So the whole mind gets cluttered. So country, India, flag represents India means your focus becomes very sharp. Then people are ready to die for the flag. People, whole freedom fight happened, taking the flag in their hand. Understand? So you are superimposing the great qualities of India on the flag. Then it becomes a center. So you are creating a center in which you can sharply focus. That is the principle behind the Vigraha Puja. Nobody is doing the Vigraha Puja, the idol worship. They are using that idol. They are worshipping the ideal, infinite God, infinite qualities through. The whole purpose is to give a sharp focus to our mind. Otherwise, our mind is cluttered, diffused. Already mind is so cluttered. So you need a very sharp focus. That's called Vigraha. Is that clear? So you focus on Rama's Vigraha, then you can focus on Dharma. If you focus on Shivalinga, then you can focus, oh, God is Nirguna, Nirakara. And pour water on Shivalinga. Not a drop of water stays on the top of head of Shivalinga. So you say Shiva is Vairagya. Just like water drops off from Shiva's head, everything gets, Shiva is detached. So you're constantly focused on one ideal through that idol. This is called Vigraha Puja. Are we clear? So then, Pratika Puja is there. Pratika means symbol. Symbol is a pointer. You can take a symbol and try to decode the symbol. So you have to decode the symbol. You have to understand the meaning of the symbol. Then you understand the ideal which is represented by symbol. For example, there is a formula called E is equal to MC square. Right? So now, let us say there is a formula E is equal to MC square. So you are able to see E is equal to MC square. Can you see that? This is a formula given by Einstein, a great scientist, Einstein. It's a symbol. It's a pratika. Understand? Pratika means symbol. Because the symbol is used to communicate to you something which you don't understand, but it is given to you to make you understand. It's a pointer. So here, if you don't understand E, oh, it's a great formula. E is equal to mc square. So what we'll do, I'll put a photo in my house of E is equal to mc square. I'll do puja every day. It doesn't lead you anywhere. The symbols are given to you to decode the symbol and understand the meaning of symbol and apply it in your life. Understand? So you have to understand, oh, E means energy, M means mass, C means velocity of light. So mass can be converted into energy. So that somebody has to apply, decode it and use, break the atom to find out the, release the energy. So that means symbols are used to decode the energy. Similarly, form is used, form, okay. Form, let's say we have a form of a god. So now there's a form of Ganesha. The form of Ganesha is a communication by rishis. The highest truth is represented by Ganesha and Hanuman. It's a visual representation of truth. Scientists represent the truth in the form of formula. The rishis represented the truth in the form of form. So form is used for meditation. Focus on the form, understand various aspects of form. So then you understand higher qualities. So Vigraha is given to you to focus your attention. For example, what does the meaning of trunk of Ganesha? What is the meaning of eye of Ganesha? They are all representing the characteristic of Nirguna Brahma or Brahman. Gananam tva ganapatigum havamahe tvameva pratyaksham brahmasi. You are Brahman. So the form of Ganesha is given to us to understand Brahman. To realize Ganesha is Brahman, to realize I am Brahman. So you have to decode. That is called Upasana. So without decoding that, taking the form of Ganesha and doing puja and Naivedya is called Karma Kanda, ritual. But decoding the meaning and meditating on the meaning is called Upasana. Are you clear? It's called Pratikopasana. So you have to be able to meditate, and as you meditate, deeper and deeper meaning of that symbol will open up to you. For example, when I started meditation, Shiva is my Ishta Devate. I started meditating on Shiva. So I started visualizing Shiva as a yogi sitting in Kailas Parvat. So then I started gradually, I try to understand what is the meaning of Shiva, what is the snake on the neck of Shiva, or what is the meaning of Shiva's symbol. So then gradually started realizing that Shiva is nothing but inner quality. Shiva is Bhasma Bhusidanga. He is actually using ashes on its body, which means he is detached. So the real Shiva is my detachment, inner detachment. That I started understanding. Shiva is Dana, clarity. Third eye of Shiva represents Dana, wisdom eye. It cannot be seen. So Dana is Shiva. Like that, I started relating the Shiva to me. Then I started realizing, oh, then Shiva means innermost self, Atma, Atma Shiva. So then I realized the body is not Shiva. Nanu nanembudu nanalla, ee deha manabuddhi nanalla, sachidananda Atma Shiva nanu nane, Shivoham, Shivoham. Body is not Shiva, mind is not Shiva, intellect is not. So the same Shiva at the mind level becomes detachment and viveka. At the innermost level, it becomes Atma. So like that, each symbol, each pratika, we have to decode, we have to understand. Then gradually we will realize the truth which Rishis want to us. Is this clear? This is called Pratikopasana. Krishnamurti. Did I say Pratikupasana is clear or I didn't? Okay, so I started understanding. I started understanding Shiva is not just person sitting in Kailasa. Shiva is not my inner quality at the mental level, and Shiva is my inner self. So like that, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. We have to go innermost self. That's the spiritual journey. So that's why Pratika is given to us. Are we clear? No, Pratima, Vigraha. But Pratika is slightly different. Pratika is like a formula. Scientist gives a formula. E is equal to MC. You have to understand the formula. So what is the difference between Pratika, Vigraha and Pratika? Vigraha, you have to superimpose qualities. You have to remember. Rama is like this. You have to superimpose the qualities. Means you have to superimpose. You have to bring in your understanding. Pratika means you have to decode the formula. Scientist formula you have to decode. So similarly, our rishis have given us a formula called Om. Formula is Om. The Om has to be decoded. Okay. So that decoding of Om will help the truth. How do you decode the Om? So Om has to be decoded. How do you decode the Om? Om is a symbol. Okay. The Om symbol can be decoded in many ways. The decoding of Om symbol is told in Upanishad. How to decode Om symbol. Okay. You have to meditate based on the decoding. The Omkara can be applied to Atma, or Omkara applied to individual Atma, or Omkara can be applied to Brahman. Omkara can be applied to Atma or Brahman. Omkara has Akara, Ukara, Makara. So there are multiple ways of decoding Omkara. Okay, Omkara has to be decoded in many ways. Omkara has Akara, Ukara, Makara. Akara represents my waking state. Ukara represents my dream state. Makara represents my deep state. Okay. The silence represents Samadhi or Turiya. Okay. This is related to myself, Atma. So Sarvam Khalu Brahma. All this is Brahman. Akara represents Virat Purusha, the gross. Ukara represents Hiranyagarbha, the subtle. Makara represents Ishvara. Okay. So silence represents Parabrahma. So like that, the symbol Akara, Omkara can be for Vyashti or individual level, or it can be Samashti, the totality. Then it brings an equation between Samashti and Vyashti. It equates. Samashti is Vyashti. I am Atma Brahma. Myself is Brahman. So it brings an equation. It's a Omkara is an equation between the Tattvamasi teaching is told in the form of Omkara. Omkara is Brahman, Omkara is Atma. So Atma is Brahman. I am Atma Brahma is told in the form of Omkara. Are we clear? So there's this teaching is done in Mandukya Upanishad. So you have to understand Mandukya Upanishad. Decoding. Without understanding Mandukya Upanishad, then if with just chanting Omkara will not give exact benefit. Each upasana has, you have to understand in certain way, right? So Omkara upasana is told in Mandukya Upanishad. Now Omkara is, I told you, Akara, Ukara, Makara, the symbolic meaning. The Omkara has also another meaning. Okay, the symbol of Omkara itself, you see, the Akara, Ukara, Makara are merging with each other. Waking state merges with the dream state. The dream state merges the deep sleep state. And there's a Ardha Chandra, half moon. Half moon represents the Maya, which stops us realizing the truth. The Bindu, the point, represents the Turiya, or what is beyond waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. It's a symbolic representation. If you don't understand symbolic representation, what you do? You'll put a Om symbol in the house and do puja. Okay? It's like putting a E is equals to MC square with a photo and doing puja. You have to decode the symbol. The symbol has to go deeper and deeper in your meditation. First way of Omkara you understood? Omkara means Atma. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, and Turiya. Omkara also means Brahman. Hiranyagarbha, Virat Purusha, the gross, Hiranyagarbha subtle, and causal Ishvara. And what is beyond? Parabrahma. So then Omkara brings the equation. Om is Jiva is Brahman. That equation is brought. Tattvamasi is told in the form of Omkara. Are you clear? So then there is another. Omkara is not that. Omkara can be understood in many ways. The Omkara, another way of understanding Omkara, I'll tell you. Okay. Another way of understanding Omkara is Akara, Ukara, Makara. These are phonetics, sound. Akara, Ukara, Makara. A, U, Ma. You should not pronounce as Om as A, U, Ma. Om has to be pronounced as Om. Om. So the Om has sound and silence. Om has sound and silence. Om. Silence. Om. Silence. The silence aspect of Om represents Nirguna, formless. The sound aspect of Om represents the Saguna, or form. Okay. Brahman is Nirguna, Nirakara. The same Brahman appears as Saguna, Sakara. So Om represents Brahman in totality, Nirguna and Saguna. Are you clear? Now, why Om sound represents Saguna? Sound has Akara, Ukara, Makara. A, U, Ma. The speciality of A, U, Ma is mouth opens, Ma, mouth ends. So the opening of the mouth is beginning of sound. Sound ends. Okay. So Akara and Makara represents complete sound formation. Opening of the mouth to closure. Understand? Who is in between? Then another aspect is there. You chant Akara, Ukara, Makara. U, Ma. So none of these use the tongue. They don't use the tongue. U, Ma. So now, any other sound uses the tongue. The tongue is used to mix this U, Ma. When U, Ma is pronounced, the air flows in certain way. That air is mixed in certain way with the tongue. Ka, Ki, Ru. So the tongue is used to mix the sound. So in the process, Akara, Ukara, Makara, which are basic sounds, produce all varieties of sounds. All sounds are produced by animals. All sounds produced by birds. All sounds produced by human beings. All languages only uses the Omkara as the basis. Understand? Sound production mechanism is represented by Omkara. So Omkara represents the total sound production mechanism all together. Is it clear? That means if I say Om, I am saying symbolically all sound production mechanism. In other words, I am saying all possible sounds. Are you clear? So if I am representing all possible sounds, that means all names are coming in that. What is nothing? What is world? World is nothing but Nama Rupa. Name and form. Right? So we have discussed elsewhere. The world means Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Nama, Rupa. Name and form are the world. Every object in the world is name and form. The sun is a name. Moon is a name. Okay? Earth is a name and form. Are you clear? So, since Omkara represents all the possible sounds, Omkara represents all the possible names in all the languages in the world, not only Sanskrit. English, Hindi, French, German, Marathi, all languages, all sounds are represented by Omkara. Are we clear? That means all words, anything is possible in the world is represented. Not only words of Indians, words in the country, words of alliance. Anybody who speaks, anybody who produces sound is represented by Omkara. Omkara as Saguna Brahma is all encompassing. It's Shabda Brahma. Right? It represents Brahman, Shabda, manifest. Is it clear? Yes or no? So now, that's where Omkara represents, the sound of Omkara represents the totality of manifestation, Saguna Brahma. The silence of Omkara represents Nirguna Brahma, formless, because silence is no form. Right? So now you see the sound. Om. Silence is there, and Om came like a wave. Om, it went back. Like a wave comes and goes back, Saguna Brahma, the world appears in consciousness and dissolves in Nirguna Brahma. It's like a wave appearing in water and going back to water. The whole manifestation, creation, the world appears in Nirguna Brahma and goes back. But same Nirguna Brahma appears as Saguna Brahma in the form of words, name and form. Are you clear? That's why Omkara represents Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. That's the total representation. That's why Omkara is the sacred sound, sacred name, holy name. There's no name as holy as Omkara. The totality of representation of all human production mechanism, all sound production mechanism. See, if I call God as God, God, okay, that is limited to English. It doesn't represent sound production mechanism. You have to find use the dictionary to find. But Omkara is given as a syllable to represent the sound production mechanism itself. That means its totality. That's why Omkara is the sacred sound. Omkara is the holy sound. You understand? So now, what is the relationship between the sound, name and form? Is there a relationship between name and form? Let us say flower. Flower is a name, right? The moment I say flower, it is related to a picture, form. The flower is this color flower or some color flower. The flower word is related to, name is related to form. Clear? Name and form, they come together. They are a single package. Name is form. Form is name. Is it true? Now, is it possible to have a name and no form? Is it possible? Huh? Is it possible to have name and form come together? Understand? Name is form. Form is name. Is it true? The form is visible to sense organs. The name is associated with that, mental. Mind associates name with the form. The form is represented in the mind. The object is represented in the form of form in the mind. The name and form are associated. There is not possible to have a name without a form. Is it clear? Name and form is one and same for everything. Rama means, okay, Rama's form will come. So that's why God's name is God. Rama's name is Rama. Rama, there was a bridge being built between Sri Lanka and India. All monkeys were building the bridge. Okay. So then what they were doing, they had to build a bridge, then they pick up a stone and write Rama in that and put it on the ocean. The stones will float. Rama got very curious. Stones are floating. Some miracle is happening. Then he also takes one stone and puts it in the water. The stone sinks. All monkeys start clapping. Okay. They start laughing. Our stone doesn't sink because we have written Rama's name there. Okay. Your stone sinks. For us, we have a support of Rama's name. What support do you have? We have strength of Rama's name. God's name is God only. Because name and form are associated. You understand? So if you chant Rama, 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 your mind gets associated with Rama's form, Rama's qualities. You understand? Then all drama of your life will go. Chanting of God's name is purifying, holy. You understand? Why? Because what we think, we become. What we think, we become. If you think, keep on thinking, I am a sinner, you become a sinner. In Sanatana Dharma, we don't teach you are a sinner. Sanatana Dharma, we teach you, you are pure. Amritasya putraha, you are divine. Constantly think you have to divine. I am divine. I am Brahmasmi. I am pure. Atma Rama. Okay, then your mind takes that form. This is called Brahmara Kita Nyaya. There was an insect called Brahmara. The insect Brahmara, it picks up there's a what is it called? Beetle. Brahmara. It picks up an insect and keeps it in cage. It's in for feeding its children. The Kita, the insect, keeps on thinking of Brahmara, and one day it develops the wings and it flies off. So if you keep on thinking of God, you will also attain the qualities of God. That's why it's purifying. It's called holy name because it's holy. It purifies you. Because name and form is associated. Name is form. It's impossible to think of a name without a form. Right? Understand? Name and form go together. Are we clear? So if you constantly think of the name, the form of God comes into picture. Rama, Rama, Rama. Then Dharma, the form of Rama is Dharma. Dharma will come into your life. That's what happened to one hunter called Valmiki, Ratnakara. Ratnakara was hunter, cruel hunter. Narada meets him. Narada tells Ratnakara, you are doing sin. Your wife and children will take that. Ratnakara goes and asks his wife, do you take my sin? His wife says, as per scriptures, all sin done by husband will go to husband only. I am not going to take anything. The scriptures say, if husband does good punya or good merit, 50% will go to wife. If husband does sin, 100% sin will go to husband, doesn't go to wife. Okay. So he says, it's all yours only. Ratnakara gets upset. He comes and tells Narada, please save me. So I'm illiterate. I don't know anything. Then Valmiki says, chant God's name, Rama, Rama, Rama. He starts chanting Rama, Rama, and it mind gets purified. Name of God is called holy because name is associated with form. There's no name possible without a form. God's name is God. You understand? And it purifies. That's why it's called holy name. And once it purifies, that Ratnakara became a Valmiki, the greatest poet. He's called Adi Kavi. Beautiful poetry writes. Ratnakara. That's happened to Srila Prabhupada. When he went to America, he started singing Hare Krishna, just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. There are a lot of hippies, drug addicts who came near him, and they thought it's funny. Is the way this person is chanting Hare Krishna. They also started chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And surprise of surprise, the holy name started purifying them. Many of them become free from drug addiction. American government was spending millions of dollars for de-addiction program. Nothing, just holy name. That's the power of name. Nama Mahima purifies you. Understand? The name and form go together. Omkara. Now, Omkara is all encompassing. It's Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. Brahman is everything. The tree is Brahman, sun is Brahman, the moon is Brahman, earth is Brahman, water is Brahman, sky is Brahman, everything is Brahman. You are Brahman. That's all represents the sound of Omkara. Silence represents Nirguna Brahma, Nirakara. So the Omkara represents the totality of Brahman. Name goes with the form. So chant Omkara, you attain Brahman. As simple as that. Any complications? That's what the sloka is saying. Just chanting holy name of Omkara, you will attain Brahman. But there is a caution there. You have to chant holy name of Omkara. Omkara is a symbol. That decoding you have to learn through Upanishad. Otherwise it becomes just another sound. Understand? So that's why Guru Nanak, it is said that Guru Nanak sat in meditation, Guru Nanak with his companion, sat near a river bed. Guru Nanak entered into the river. For 3 days he didn't return. 3 days he didn't return. Then his disciple got confused. He went and told villagers, oh, Nanak has not come back. Everybody thought Nanak has died in the river. They came there. So then Nanak came out of the river. His face was shining. His mind was full of bliss. The first word he said was, Satnam ik Omkara. Satnam ik Omkara. Omkara is the only true name of Sat, Brahman. The name and Brahman he equated. They contemplated. So entering into a river is metaphorical. It's not physical river. River of samsara, ocean. 3 days he didn't come in, 3 days he went into samadhi. Satnam ik Omkara. Only true name of God is Omkara. Every other name is there. Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Rama. All those things are a form. They represent one form of God and equated to Omkara. Whereas Om represents all forms of God. All forms. All forms are his form. All names are his name. The Omkara represents totality. Okay, that's why we say Om Namah Shivaya. Every mantra we add Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Through a form, we go into formless. It's just given as a mechanism. But when you chant Om, you are directly meditating on Brahman, Saguna and Nirguna. Whatever you think, you become. If you constantly chant Omkara with meaning, then you realize Brahman. This is the meaning of sloka. A simple mechanism is given to purify your mind. To purify the mind, two important requirements are there. One is mind has to be focused. So focusing, the sound is given. The purification of the mind, meaning is given. The sound and purification together becomes mantra. That's why a mantra, the meaning of mantra is called manana trayati iti mantra. Manana, you have to contemplate. Mantra is used for contemplation. Trayati, then it purifies you. Okay, people think the mantra has to be repeated. Mantra has to be repeated. But mantra has to be meditated upon. Mantra has to be contemplated. That contemplation is called upasana. How do you contemplate Omkara? Akara is waking state. Ukara is dream state. Makara is sleeping state. Turiya, silence is Turiya. So let me become one with Turiya. Okay, Akara is Virat. Ukara is Hiranyagarbha. Makara is Ishvara. Silence is Parabrahma. So like that, you have to constantly contemplate and meditate. Contemplate. That contemplation is together chanting is called mantra. Without understanding, people keep on repeating the mantra. Repeating the mantra will also help. Okay, but with understanding, the mantra becomes very potent, powerful. That's why manana trayati iti mantraha. Are we clear? So, Omkara consists of Akara, Ukara, Makara, which is actually 3 alphabets. It's like a color TV. Color TV has 3 colors. See, our color TV has millions of colors. It's beautiful color. But when it's transmitted, it's only transmitted as 3 colors, red, green, and blue. A various combination of red, blue and green is transmitted. And that here on the screen, it appears as millions of colors because they are all combinations. Similarly, Akara, Ukara, Makara is mixed in various ways by the tongue. So in that, millions of sounds are produced. Okay. When the cow says Amba, it's saying Omkara. child says Amma, it's Akara, Makara. Okay. Omkara represents the total sound production system in the world, all languages, all names, all forms. That's why Omkara becomes the sacred symbol. It's a holy name. If you chant the holy name, you'll get purified. You become holy. W-H-O-L-Y. Whole. Whole means Purna. Purnam. Purnamadaha. Purnamidam. The name is the easiest way to purify the mind. Simple way. So that's why it is said that sannyasis are told to chant only one mantra, Omkara. Sannyasis have to constantly chant Omkara. Okay. So then some women are not supposed to chant Omkara, the people say. They give a lot of this thing. It will affect their womb and all. It's nothing to do with that. Omkara has to be chanted with understanding the meaning. Okay. So understand the meaning, we have to study Upanishads. Chant Omkara, understanding the meaning which is taught in Upanishads. Then it will be effective. That's all it means. Women who have not studied Omkara, actually, men also don't understand Upanishad today. So that's a different problem. In earlier days, some of the men had education of Upanishad, then they'll chant Omkara. Okay. So women didn't have education, then don't chant Omkara because you don't understand the meaning. That's all it means. Understand the meaning. Omkara mantra is chanted with the understanding the meaning. It's a contemplation. Mananat trayati the mantra. The mantra goes deeper and deeper and purifies you. It's holy name. Holy name makes you whole, total. So this is tomorrow we'll understand the meaning of the sloka. Today there was an introduction about holy name. Any questions? Anybody has a question?
ಏನ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳೋದು ಗುರುಜಿ? ಓಂಕಾರದ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮುಳುಗೋಯ್ಗಾಯ್ತು ನಾವು, ಕೇಳಕ್ ಯಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
Okay. So this is actually nididhyasa alva Prabhuji?
Alla, idu upasane. It's called upasane. Omkara upasane.
Upasane na?
Nididhyasa is there's no chanting or mantra. It's a contemplation and you stay as self.
Okay.
Okay. That's why Nididhyasa, I have told you, Nididhyasa has 3 stages, right? Okay. Nididhyasa goes through 3 stages. Anvid Savikalpa Samadhi, Shabdanvid Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It goes through 3 stages.
Okay.
Bahya Antar Nididhyasa. They are different. Nididhyasa is related to directly going to the self. Omkara is going to the self, contemplating on the meaning.
Okay.
Omkara purifies you. Nididhyasa establishes you in truth.
Okay.
So,
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om Spogalan.
I just wanted to do a clarification. Even when we do Nididhyasana, before Nididhyasana, we do the dhyana. Sometimes when thoughts come, you take up a mantra like Om or Shivoham.
So then what you are doing is you are mixing up Upasana and Nididhyasa.
And Nididhyasana together. Okay. It should be together. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So Upasana means a symbol is used. Upasana means form is used. You can meditate on a form of Shiva, you can meditate on form of Guru, you can meditate on form of Rama, like that.
Yeah. Some do the japa,
meditation.
Japa of the mantra.
Japa. All those things come under Upasana.
Upasana.
Whereas Nididhyasa comes contemplation of the meaning, Tattvamasi.
Okay. Yeah. Gurudev, the sound mechanism of Omkara is beyond words when the explanation you gave today. Really great. Thank you so much.
Very good. So, anybody else, any questions? Purnima or Ravi?
Hari Om Guruji, prashne enilla. Vigraha puja chanagi helidri Guruji. We are not doing Vigraha puja, doing puja through Vigraha.
Yes, Ravi?
That Shivoham, Soham meditation meditation, that is sort of only, isn't it?
Sorry?
That Soham meditation and Shivas, this one, it is Nididhyasa only, isn't it?
See, Nididhyasa, Soham, if you understand and go to silence, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, it's Nididhyasa. If you use it as japa, then it becomes upasana. Okay? Yes, you have a question? What is the question?
And Omkara's main means for purification.
Yeah. Omkara is direct means to purify the mind.
So how did, in the example of Prabhupada, when he went to US and he started singing, how did people start getting purified even if they didn't have any knowledge?
So what happened? See, the Prabhupada's presence, which is a Gnani, and his chanting of mantra. See, the question is, will Omkara purify you even if you don't have knowledge of that? It does. Okay? Like Rama mantra will purify you. Even if a fire, if you touch, you don't know that it's fire, but if you touch, it will burn you. But mantra will be very effective, more effective when you know the meaning. Okay? So without knowing the meaning, the people saw Prabhupada's joy on the Prabhupada's face. They saw the effect of that. Then they started getting that inner. So mantra purifies you, even if you don't know. Mantra has an effect. Okay? But mantra's effect will get multifold when you do do the meaning. Right? In earlier days, women used to do upasana. They for them, upasana of Devi upasana was taught. So they will do that. Omkara upasana was not taught, so they don't do.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಗುರುಗಳೇ. ನಾವು ಓಂಕಾರ ಚಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂನು ಆಗತ್ತಾ, ವಿತ್ ಸೌಂಡೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ?
See, Omkara has any chanting, any mantra has different methods of chanting. Okay, one is loud, Om, Om. Okay, so this mantra chanting it will purifies the entire environment. If a group of people stand chanting Omkara, the whole place gets purified. Then that's called Upamshu. Upamshu means you will chant Om, Om, Om. Only lip will move and only you will hear. That's called Upamshu. Then you chant without moving the lip, Manasika. Om. Okay, then there's no chanting of mantra. Silently you are sitting in Samadhi. So these are various stages. First stage is called loud. Okay. Then called Upamshu. Then Manasika. Then Ajapa means no chanting. So these are all various ways of chanting. So depending on which stage of sadhana you are, you can have to use 1, 2 or 3, all the 4 or only one, depending on your stage of your sadhana, purification of mind. Are we clear?
Yes, Guruji. Thank you.
So depending on where you are, okay, you will feel much more comfortable in certain way of chanting, in certain way of purification, depending on your evolution.
Hariam Guruji, that's why the Soham is known as an Ajapa mantra, correct? Because it says Soham.
No. Soham is when you chant either physically, mentally or verbally, it's japa. When you sit silently, the inner realization, I am awareness is there. That is called ajapa. It's not Soham. There's internally there Soham doesn't go as a sound. Even if the Soham is going internally, it's called Manasika.
Oh, okay.
It goes into total silence, and you are establishing ajapa, or you are establishing self-awareness. That's called ajapa.
But it was wrongly interpreted because what they say is that the mentally repeating it is ajapa. No, mentally
represented called manasika.
Manasika, then. Yes, correct.
Okay,
yes.
Then finally it will result in realization. Oh, I am Brahman, I am awareness. So that is called ajapa.
Ajapa, correct. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So shall we close for the day?